All right, grade six. So for today, what we're doing is we are introducing our first social studies assignment for Athens. All right, after you finish the small formative quiz, remember it's only about 4 questions. You're going to watch this video and then you can get started right away. This will not be due until the end of next week. Right, so you have all of today and a little bit of throughout the next week, including like all of the social blocks. Next Wednesday social block, and then I'll want it in on Thursday. All right, so as you can see here, right, what you're going to do is you're going to describe a day in the life. All right, so one day in the life of one of the 3 social classes. Okay, so you're going to choose one of the roles in ancient Athens and write a brief diary entry that depicts a day in the life of the person in that role. All right, when we're talking about diary entries, all right, maybe we don't know what a diary entry is. The best example is if you've read the book Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It's kind of like that in tone, right? So remember, tone is how it reads off. So it's not like a textbook. You're not writing it factually like that, but it's more informal, right? So diaries, they have recorded entries. They often have dates, as you can see here, right? So this is just an example of a date in the corner. Uh, and it's a place to put your thoughts and opinions, usually during a given time. Diaries are used a lot as primary sources in social studies. So like when we're studying the past, we'll find diary entries from people who actually were in the events, and we trust those as main resources of what actually happened because the people went through it. So an example of that would be like for coronavirus. Right? You guys are living through this right now, and this will be studied about for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. This is one of the most impactful historical thing that's ever happened. At least in our lifetime, in our lifetime, right? So if you were writing down a journal or a diary, that could be treated as a primary source. And you're kind of doing the same thing. What you want to make sure that you have in your diary entry is these four things, right? First of all, you need structure. So make sure you do pick a date, right? Our dates would be around 500 BC, right? 500 to 0 BC, okay? You're going to write naturally. So in this assignment, I am not judging the grammar, right? I'm marking purely the content. It's not English. So for once, you can write a little more informally, right? First person, use a lot of I words, all right? I love social studies. So what you're doing is you're taking on this role of this person from ancient Athens. So instead of saying instead of saying Bob likes to go to the Agora, you're going to say I enjoy going to the Agora, right? And you really want to make sure that you have opinions and point of views throughout your diary entry. Here's an example of kind of what we're looking for tone, right? So they have the date already, and then they kind of talk about, I want to get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary, right? But they emphasize keywords. I specifically said this. I said this. I emphasize the word diary. I don't like that. Maybe they add a little bit of drawings. You can add some drawings in your diary to make it a little bit more personal and a little more interesting. So anyways, here we have, you can read through this, I know, but basically you're going to select a date, as we said, like around 500 BC. You're going to identify your role. So first you're going to say, are you a male or a female? Because that should change what you do in a day-to-day task. Then you're going to say your social role or your social class. All right? So are you going to be either the medic, a slave, or a citizen? Okay? You need to have at least 3 paragraphs. These 3 paragraphs will have 3 different emphases. The first one will talk about your family members, your living situation, maybe your personal history, right? Second one will talk about your job information. So what do you do? What do you do your daily routines? What are some responsibilities? What kind of training do you have to do? Maybe you go to school. What do you do at that school? Paragraph 3 will focus on rights and responsibilities in government. So specifically, what kind of things do you do in the government? For the information, we do have a lot of information online on Edmodo. You can use your textbook. You also can do further online research. I recommend doing some online research as well. Here's a little bit of checkpoints, right? So by the end of today's class, you should try to get as much of the personal information done. And you can do this on Sunday, and you can do this on Wednesday, and then you're essentially done. All right, read through this. This gives you some more information about what kind of questions you can answer. Here's just a space where you can start jotting things down as you research. If you're printing that off, or you just want to add things before you turn it into a sentence, right? A brainstorming space. You're writing here, and then this is the rubric. All the rubric is going to assess you on right, is how well do you know those 3 paragraphs in that categories? Did you do extensive research, and is it very knowledgeable? I'm posting 2 examples of this assignment, right? 2 examples. Please read through these so you can read. So this is 1, this is 2. Notice the amount of writing. This is how you get an excellent. Read through the 2 different examples so you understand what I'm looking for. All right, so this is the assignment, and that's what I mean by diary entry. This is going to be posted as well. If you have any questions, please ask.